Alright guys, welcome to Socially Bearded. Happy Sunday. I say it every Sunday, you know what it is. Shaving content on Sunday. Today though, we are not actually going to shave anything. Today is going to be a sort of how-to. I've actually had 2 people reach out to me in the last probably month and ask me kind of how I lather the same soap, the same exact one. That soap is just a shave soap from Detroit Grooming. The scent doesn't matter. I think they probably have the same scent as I do. Scent doesn't matter. This is a really hard puck. Really good puck. Very good soap here. It is a little bit challenging to lather if you have never owned a hard puck soap, and both of these guys have never owned a hard puck soap. So I kind of gave them some general instruction. I left out arguably the most important step in that. I forgot all about it. I usually don't use this step, but when you're starting out, I think everybody needs to. So, step number 1 when you go to lather a soap like this is find yourself a bowl. It doesn't have to be anything specific. I'm going to show you what I use. This is an old bowl from a very well-known and really cheap but good soap that you buy from Amazon. This is a Parasso bowl. You notice I've got water floating in there, but I just had this, it was empty, and I put the Detroit soap down in it. That way, the soap's not slipping, sliding through your hands. You know, you can also put it in a mug, you can put it in a scuttle. If you have some other kind of brush, or some other kind of bowl, you could throw it in there as well. So, I also chose to go with the boar brush, the Omega boar brush today, because sometimes boar brushes are a little bit harder to lather. So I figured we will go ahead and show it with this. If we can get it to lather with this, then theoretically other brushes would be easier. So we've had that soaking for about 10 minutes. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take not straight hot but very warm water, and you're going to want to fill your soap up and let it set for 5 minutes, 6 at the most. This has been setting a little longer, but I was setting up for the video. And I like to pour that water off the soap into my brush bath and wet my brush with that after I've had the brush soaking for a while. Just kind of shake it out there, and again we're going to have the soap there, and that's going to soften it up a whole bunch. A little bit too much water is still left in there. Go ahead and dump that out. And now you're just going to start working. So keep in mind, you don't have to pre-soak your soap, but if you are new to this, I recommend it. Just don't leave it sit in there too long and let it get soft. This one's pretty soft right now, so we're going to be kind of easy, but I like to just go back and forth. Sometimes make a figure 8, and it'll start to build the lather. You'll have it dripping everywhere like I'm doing right now. But pretty soon, that brush will be good and loaded. Once you spin your brush on that puck long enough, it'll start to feel sticky. And when it starts to feel sticky, then you are starting to get your brush loaded now. Again, I had this puck pretty soft, so it might take you a little bit longer than what it just took me. But we're going to wet the head, and we are going to try it. Again, we're not going to shave today, but we are going to lather the head up. Just so we can make sure that we got this right. If not, we'll go right back to the puck and reload the brush. Let me spin that on there a couple more times. Any excess, just take and wipe it off. That'll help. All right. Let's see what we've got here. And yes, this will be a very short Sunday video. The main trick though is to have that puck kind of pre-soaked a little bit there. So we're just going to work a little bit there. Now also keep in mind that's a little runny up there, but you can just keep working that and it will thicken right up. So you're just going to work and work, and what that does is that disperses that water really good. So the thicker parts of your soap will mix with the thinner parts of your soap or your lather, and it will eventually thicken it up just like it's doing right now, and it will make a really, really, really nice lather. Again, this Detroit Grooming soap is a very good product. So you see I've got lather on my head, pretty much the whole head. We'll go a little bit more back here. Now, go ahead and wring that out. So that's enough there to probably do another head shave with. See the big old dot there. So really, guys, that's all there is to it. Now, one other, that looks ridiculous. One other method of doing this, and basically you're just going to remove a step. So you're just going to soak your brush. You're going to wet your soap, but don't soak it. Just wet it, dump the water right out. Do it with warm water, very warm water, but not full hot. Once you wet your soap, then you're just going to go in there and you're going to work just like I was just doing. Now, that process is going to take quite a bit longer than if you were to soak your soap, but as long as you soak that soap for between 3 and 5 minutes in very warm water, you will really easily be able to get a lather built out of the Detroit Grooming soap. Now you see why I say put that in a bowl. If you had that in your hand, you would have a mess all the way up your arm. So yep, guys, that is how you lather a hard puck soap. There are also, not this particular soap, but there are also soaps that come in tubs that are similar to this that are also really, really hard. You can do the same thing. Just put the hot water on top, leave it for 3 to 5 minutes. Even some of them you can even leave it longer than that. You'll figure out about how long you want to leave it the more and more you use it. But if it's in a container like that, if it's a poured soap, not a puck, just put the hot water on top or the very warm water on top. Let it set. Make sure your brush is good and soaked. Dump it out and go to town, just like I just showed you. There's really no difference to the process at all. So, guys, that will be it for how to lather a hard puck. I appreciate everybody for joining, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. If you're new here and you want to support the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and remember to follow me across all social medias.